Hey everyone, it's Reamers, back for month 28. This month should be a little bit more exciting because I actually did a fair amount of Korean this month and I have a lot to talk about. And this was really the month where I kind of started to lock in on output. And this has always been something that's been kind of nebulous. Like I remember there was a comment from one of the earlier videos talking about how a lot of the like immersion learning community always kind of really struggled when it came to output, right? Like it was really easy to watch a bunch of K-dramas, watch a bunch of anime, but not many people really made it to like very kind of strong output. One of the things that I really had to accept this month was that so I'm going to Korea in February of 2026. So that's 5 to 6 months from now. And, I think Refold says you're ready for output when you have level 5 understanding of the content you've been immersing today. And that's, you can understand close to everything, but some subtle nuances lost. And the thing is, I've talked about this before, I'm just absolutely not there. But I think where I'm kind of at is that, I'm willing to sacrifice some nativeness points or some naturalness points or whatever that means, because, at some point you have to be very pragmatic, and it's hey, I'm going to be there in 6 months. I'm probably going to want to speak and I should start practicing speaking. And so I kind of made this diagram where this is if you think about peak Korean, speaking potential. It's your peak. So if you start speaking really early, maybe you'll sound like crap. I mean, obviously this is kind of flawed, but whatever. And this is time, right? So in theory, if you spend 5 years immersing and then you have perfect comprehension, then your peak is really high. But if you're where I'm at, where you understand a bit, then your peak is only here. But the thing is that this peak or this thing is it's always 6 months past where you are, right? Because you have to get to this point and then spend 6 to 12 months learning how to speak. And so for me, right, maybe I could spend the next 6 months going from here up to here, but then I would need another 6 months to actually learn to speak, right? So here's where I'm at, and I think this is what we're aiming for. But I think we're just being very pragmatic. I want to go. I want to speak when I go, and I've already the stuff I've been doing this month has definitely felt okay, if I do this for 6 months, I think I will feel decently confident, right? Could I have done more? Absolutely. Will I feel decently good? Yes. So what have I been doing? Really, one of the biggest things is I've been doing a lot of ITALKI, and I have a lot of thoughts here. I've this has been on my mind since I started in terms of something I'll eventually want to do. And I'd kind of been putting it off, and yeah, finally pulled the trigger this month. I've done quite a few lessons, and I've done it with a bunch of different teachers. Some I like more than others, a bunch of different styles, and I'm going to talk about them. Hey everyone, real quick, editing Reimmerse here. I just want to say all these ITALKI teachers I'm about to talk about, if you want to check any of them out for yourselves, all the links are going to be in the description. All right, back to the video. So I did lessons with 7 teachers. There's one here that I haven't done a lesson with. I've it's scheduled for this week or something. And yeah, let's talk about them. Okay, first this guy, Song-Soo Sim. Dude, this guy is the GOAT. Okay, he's absolutely my favorite one. And I think what's really great about Song-Soo is that, one, he's super chill. The guy's just super chill, super nice. Also his English is extremely good. And this is actually I think a very good sign as a language learner, because if one of the things that I've been stressing to these teachers is that I really want a perfect accent, right? And it's very hard actually to get them to give the kind of feedback that you really want, because most students are going to have so many accent mistakes all the time, and it's not these people, they're trying to make money, they want you to come back. And so if most people feel they're being corrected every single word, that's really annoying. That's not fun, right? They came to speak, not to be fucking nitpicked. But I do want to be nitpicked, right? And so the thing with that is if you want to have a really good accent, you probably want to work with someone who's achieved a really good accent in a foreign language. And this guy's English accent is straight up perfect, right? Maybe 1 in 100 words is slightly off, but it's so freaking good. And also his ability to give feedback on pronunciation stuff. Most of our lessons were actually talking in English about pronunciation, right? He'll draw a tongue kind of mouth slice diagram and be oh, you need to your tongue more here, or it's more throaty or something, right? And yeah, and also he's pretty cheap. I think it's $14 for 30 minutes. Yeah, this guy's awesome. Okay, this guy I tried recently. I was his very first lesson. That's one lesson. That was me. He was pretty chill. I think I'll do another one. Nothing that stood out too much there. I think he was one of the later ones I did, and so I like sent him this like quite long message of like what I'm looking for. You can see that here, right? So I'm like extremely high bar for correctness. Like if I say something that doesn't sound right, please correct me. When you correct me, this was like the things that Refold had talked about, I think in like 2 videos ago, where it's like, don't do the like explicit correction, don't do the like prompting correction, do the like in context thing. And then also like, yeah, if I don't know how to say something, I'll just say it in English, and then kind of please fill in the gaps for me. And so he was fine. This guy, Taewon Sem, this guy is like, it's very interesting because he's like just kind of like an old like Korean dude, and he like sounds like the like old Korean dudes from like the dramas, like the way he talks, right? Like the one, like his accent, but also like the words he uses, right? Like what's a good example? I don't know, say like 무엇을 할까요 or something. Like no one else talks like that. And it was like pretty funny, so that's why I wanted to do a lesson with him. Something that was really interesting about this guy was like it felt like very like praisey, right? Like there'd be times where I would like make mistakes that like I knew were wrong, and like he like wouldn't correct me. It's just like, oh, like 아주 좋아요, 아주 좋아요. And so that was I didn't really like that. This next woman, Minji, she's the one person I haven't done a lesson with. I have it like scheduled though for this week. This guy Shinny, so I did like 5 lessons with this guy, and this guy is actually very good. Like his marketing is like really all over the place. He's done a bajillion lessons. I do think he's very good. He's also like the most expensive, and it's not just like by a little bit, it's by a lot, right? Like this guy charges $50 an hour, which is like insane on this website, right? Like that's like literally not like top 1 percentile in terms of pricing. But the reason I did a couple is because one, he's like very like kind of like straight up with his feedback. Like he'll be like, dude, like all these other teachers, like they're gonna like kind of just like let you nod along and say nay and just kind of like praise you, and he's like, I'm not gonna bullshit you, like, you know, like I want to help you learn. The other thing that's like really good that he does is like all the words that you go over. Also, dude, ITALKI shipped this new UI and it is just complete fucking dog shit. Holy shit. Anyways, all like the words you go over, he'll like send you, and these are always like, you know, kind of like very arbitrary one-off phrases to memorize. But again, I'm at this like pragmatic point where it's like, I do need to start memorizing one-off phrases. And so these have been really good because he sends a lot of these. And so then I'll like put them into Migaku, which I like got again. So I'll like copy a sentence or something. I'll put it in Migaku, and then you just like one click create a card. And then I have a Anki deck that I like made and I haven't really been doing. Oops. And they look like this. So it's like 너무 피곤해서 연속으로 할 수 없어요, which is like 연속으로 is I think like continuously or like without stop. And like these were really easy to make with Migaku, kind of like from these things. The other thing I like about Shinny is that he is very focused on like interesting topics, right? He's like, I don't want like, you know, everyone else is just going to do these like basic, like kind of like very surface level conversations and like topics. But he's like, okay, today we're going to talk about like weddings. Today we're going to talk about like alcohol. Today we're going to talk about like motivation. Today we're going to talk about like all these things, right? Like, and he's like very like, you like go in the class, he's like, okay, we're going to do like this topic today. And then he sends you a bunch of words and you can make flashcards from it, which like is actually pretty good. Again, the $50 is like kind of hard to stomach, right? Like you think about, you know, the other guys are like $15, like $30 an hour, right? So you can do 2 lessons with someone else. I don't know. I mean, I think these like might be worth it. The other thing with Shinny that I like really don't like is his microphone like freaking sucks. And like sometimes it's like actually like kind of hard to hear what he's saying because his microphone sucks. Even though he's the most expensive, so I don't really know what to make of that. And the other thing is like his marketing is like kind of like a little like, I don't know, kind of like he's very like opinionated that like his way is like the way, right? Like if you like kind of like start like going off on your own path, he'll like open up this document of like you need to do this, you need to do this. And like honestly, like it wasn't always really clear to me like what exactly I was supposed to be doing, but like usually like he'd like kind of like have this like big like spreadsheet of like these like phrases, and he'd like ask you a question and then you'd kind of like repeat the answer. And I mean I thought it was valuable because one, I felt like if I like said something in English, she would like tell me the right way to say it. And also I thought I was just being exposed to like a lot of like new vocabulary and topics, which was quite valuable. Yeah, the other thing is like he'll be like there was one time I asked him to move a lesson. He's like, Ethan, like if you keep like pushing these off, like you won't make progress. And like that's just like kind of fucking rude. I don't know. Okay, this woman Yujong, she was fine. She did a lot of like the like prompting correction, right? So I would like, she kept like asking me questions, and it's like, dude, she's like, okay, so how do you say this? And I'm like, I don't freaking know. Like, please tell me. And the other thing was she like did the lesson from a mall. But she was fine. And then let's see, this woman, Sue Lee, she was pretty helpful. Her like phonetic corrections were quite good. The problem is that I think she's in the US and her like hours are like don't really match with mine. Like most of these people I'm doing like at like 9 at night, 10 at night. And then Yuhi, she was also fine. This was interesting. She was like, oh, like, I'm sorry to be nitpicky. But I'm like, no, like, please be nitpicky. But she was just, like, quite expensive compared to some of the other ones. Which, you know, I think it's, like, hard because, you know, like, if you find someone really good, like, I don't really have a problem, like, paying them well. But, you know, I think when you just, like, consider, like, okay, I could just, like, have, like, a very similar experience for, like, half the price, like, might do that. But yeah, for you guys, if you book something with Songsu, the goat, tell him that Ethan sent you, and hopefully that will be good for me. Okay, so I've been doing a lot of those. I think it's been helpful just to like kind of like get the reps in. You know, I did Refold like had this. They have this. Maybe it's not on their website anymore. They're doing this like output, like starting to output like boot camp. And I saw it on like the last day it was open, and it was like $300 with $100 of ITALKI credits. So I was like, oh, you know, I'll spend $200. It's been interesting. I think it's like, it's really hard for me because like, honestly, I'm like really busy these days. And so, but the course has been cool. There's like 3 sessions a week. I think it's for like 8 weeks or something. So there's like sessions on like Monday, Tuesdays, and Fridays, like live sessions, and they're kind of like during the workday. It's kind of hard for me to attend. They have like a homework each day. They like average, like they kind of like want you to do like an hour per day. For me, it's been hard because like I probably am doing an hour per day of like Korean combined, but like it's not like exactly kind of how they have it like piecemealed out. And what else? But the things they've been saying are like pretty helpful. Like one of the things they were talking about is they're like, yeah, you're going to make mistakes. Like, don't worry about it. You just need to like get in the habit of like speaking in a foreign language and like building it up. And they were kind of going over some of the like different like stages of like learning to output, which I actually think was helpful. Like, I think this has been worth my time, even though I'm like probably like one of the least like participating members. Like one of the guys was like, hey, like Ethan, I'm looking forward to seeing your like day 1 and day 8 homework. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I'll do it. Cause they asked you like send in recordings, and like I sent in one recording, and it's like, I'm just not doing the other ones. I'm just fucking busy. But yeah, they did ask you to make like a video, just like speaking. And so I'm going to include that at the end of this video. That's the other thing they kind of talked about, just like monologuing kind of every day or something, just to like just again, get in the habit of like speaking, but also just to have something to show your progress. So I think I'm going to do those each month. Just kind of have like a little monologue that I've recorded at the end. And then the other things I've been doing is like a lot of Hello Talk and Maum. Yeah, I usually do this when I wake up because that's like night for Korean, so there's a lot of them on it. And yeah, I'll just do like a lot of these conversations. They're pretty fun. I think like I've definitely gotten better. But yeah, I still have a long way to go. But also like, you know, I actually feel like pretty optimistic these days, right? Where it's like, oh, okay, I have like 5 months, and like I do like fine right now, right? Like I have a phone call on Mom, and they're like, oh, 너무 잘하시네요, you know, and I'm like, oh no. But yeah, I think I'm in a fine place right now. Like if I went and, you know, I got 5 months to make that better. The thing that I do need to do a lot more of is chorusing. Chorusing is like really important, especially for pronunciation. I probably should be doing this like every day, and it's like 15 minutes, right? It's like fucking nothing. Anyways, the reason I like don't do coursing is because like really annoying. It's really tedious, and I think it's like frustrating for me because like I don't really know what's like wrong, right? And this is where the tutoring is actually very helpful, right? When I chorus, like I play the recording, I like try to make the sounds, and it just sounds off, and like you're like fuck, like it doesn't sound right. And it's like really hard. And one of the things that like will be very helpful is yeah, like you basically just like do the coursing like in the lesson, and then they just like tell you what's wrong rather than you having to like figure it out. But also like one of the things I talked about with some of the different teachers was like one of the things that the teachers absolutely cannot give you is better listening, right? Like the only way you get better at listening is by listening, like just putting in the hours. And there's like no amount of like lessons you can do that will change that other than like if you like literally do enough lessons to get all your listening through the lessons, which is like not going to happen, right? And I think my listening is like it's not terrible, but it's probably one of the weaker parts. So yeah. Okay. Going into next month, I think I'm going to continue with the ITALKI, continue with chorusing. I'll let you guys know how the refold stuff goes, continue with this stuff. I also am not doing that much input these days. Again, I'm just like actually really quite busy with work, but I think I'm in a good place, right? Like, again, I think I'm very, very pragmatic where it's like, are we going to reach here? No. Like, can we like, I think the goal is just like go to Korea, be able to have like pretty strong conversations, understand most stuff, and like have a semi-decent accent. I think we're 5 months out from that. Even if I'm doing it at like the rate I'm doing it today, I think we could totally reach that. So I feel pretty good, feel pretty motivated. And yeah, thank you guys so much for continuing to watch. And now I'm going to toss it over to myself, giving this like first kind of 4-minute monologue I made from a little bit ago, which is probably going to be very hard to listen to. And also it's super embarrassing. So I'm not going to enjoy editing that, but hopefully you guys will just kind of enjoy seeing where I'm at, and hopefully we can see the progress improve over the next couple of months. So thank you again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye. 네, 안녕하세요. 저는 10살에 살고 있는 이튼입니다. 이 영상은 첫 말하기 영상입니다. 그래서 저는 긴장됐어요. 근데 오늘 좀 날씨가 좋아서 기분이 좋네요. 친구랑 같이 일했어요. 너무 좋아요. 오븐은 오래만이에요. 어색해. 그리고 저는 언어학 관심 있거든요. 한국어 공부 시작하는 이유는 언어학 관심 있어요. 그리고 어렸을 때 언어학은 너무 어려운 거죠. 그래서 다른 언어 잘 되면 너무 좋아요. 그래서 공부 시작했어요. 고등학교에 Spanish, French, 일본어 다 공부했었어요. 근데 다 포기해라. 왜 포기했어? 그 언어 쓰는 쓰는 일, 쓰는 situation 없어요. 그래서 언어 잘 되면 안 써요. 그래서 포기했어요. 근데 한국어는 2년 전에 K-팝 한국 음악을 좋아해요. 그래서 음악을 관심 있어서 한국어 배우고 싶어요. 그래서 시작했어요. 지금까지 좋아요. 그래서 끊을게요. 네. 안녕.